TV shows like Succession often reflect the real-life issues of the American society. The media industry is an important part of the American society, and the power and influence of media conglomerates are often a subject of debate and controversy, in particular the increasing role of the media in influencing political outcomes. Succession is a very successful and acclaimed HBO show about the Roy family and their media empire. The Roy family controls the biggest media company in the world. The founder of the company, named Waystar Royco, is Logan Roy, who grew up in Canada and moved to the United States where he founded the company. Logan is a character who orbits a rough mentality. He believes in a conservative and patriarchal lifestyle, which is why his company has right-wing views. The basic premise of the show is that Logan has a stroke, and that as a consequence of this, his 4 children all fight for control of the company. The show is sharply funny and mainly entertains by way of the family drama. However, this show also mirrors the world of the American media, and I will show this through an episode of the show, namely episode 6 of the 3rd season, titled What It Takes. And in this episode, Logan, his children, and the higher-ups of Waystar Royco head to Virginia, where there is a conservative political conference, since the sitting president of the United States has announced that he will not be running for a second term. In the show, it's indicated that this is due to Waystar, since Logan made ATN, the global news broadcast service owned and operated by Waystar, run unfavorable coverage against him by saying that the president has a certain condition.
Here they are, the family who lost us a presidency.
How is he? The raisin.
He's out of a job in 6 months. Lame in the interim, and the GOP is in flames. We're all doing backflips.
Sorry about that.
He's got a serious condition. We felt the country needed to know.
What this condition means remains unclear. However, it is presumed that Logan took down the president since he wasn't compliant enough. Due to this, the president has decided he wouldn't run for a second term, which already shows the power of the media. And during the conference, Logan demands that his children and staff scout the conference in search for a suitable presidential candidate, whom they will enforce through ATN. This would in turn be beneficial for Waystar, since the newly elected president would be indebted to Waystar and won't bring up a case against him, as seen in the show.
Put in a new friend at the top, one who won't fire up justice about our boring old case.
Yeah, and maybe eat a belly full of humble pie about accidentally knocking over their president and smashing him on the floor.
The episode shows just how powerful the media is, since our perception is that the next US president would be chosen during the election period. However, Succession shows us a layer which is seldom seen, namely that the head of a media conglomerate as big as Waystar essentially has the power to remove a sitting president through the unfavorable coverage against him, while also having enough sway to pick the next person who could sit in the Oval Office. This might just appear as being great drama, since it's fictional. However, similar things have happened in our reality, and let us start analyzing why a show like Succession mirrors the American media. So, in April of 2018, 193 local stations acquired by the Sinclair broadcast group in 2017 were all running a series of promotional segments. Now, these segments were meant as a warning for the increasing amount of fake news, which is defined by Anstead as information that is not true but is shared as if it is. As a consequence, the website Deadspin compiled a video of all the news anchors regarding a warning of fake news.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Tryon argues that the video powerfully illustrated the degree to which Sinclair has infused the local news broadcast of their affiliate stations with a more conservative and more recently pro-Trump political agenda. The script notably echoed Trump's own attacks on the news media, using language identical to the words he used in his frequent Twitter attacks on the news media. Furthermore, Martin and McCrain write in their paper regarding the purchase of the local TV stations by Sinclair that the acquisition led to a roughly 3 percentage point increase in the share of programming devoted to the coverage of national politics, a roughly 25% increase relative to the average level in the sample. Furthermore, this increase came largely at the expense of coverage of local politics. Now, this means that when Sinclair buys a local station, its local news program begins to cover more national and less local politics. Moreover, the coverage becomes more conservative as well, and the viewership actually dwells. This indicates to me that the acquisition of the TV stations is not for a short-term financial gain, but that it was used as a persuasion effort to promote the Trump administration. Which also shows that the Sinclair broadcast group, much like the fictional Waystar company, uses its stations to advance their political ideology. In conclusion, in succession, the fictional global news broadcast ATN damages the reputation of the sitting president, mirroring how the Sinclair-owned local stations forced its news anchors to read anti-media promo. And I would therefore argue that the television show Succession is important when discussing media and the American life, since the show conveys the powerful role of mass media in severely impacting politics, as indicated through linking the damaging effects of ATN in the show to the real-life events of how the Sinclair broadcast group forced the news presenters of their TV stations to promote the political agenda of Donald Trump.